Good day, viewers. Welcome to another episode on Grammar Genius with me, Imran Sidi Ahmad. In today's episode, we're going to look at the aspect of action verbs. What are action verbs? Before moving to action verbs, let's just try to know what a verb really is. Well, a verb means doing, something you're doing, action, the activity you are doing, whether mental or physical. Whatever you're doing, it's a verb. All right, so this lecture I'm performing now, I'm talking, this is a verb. I'm performing an action. So now in this aspect, what are the things we are going to look at in action verb? We're going to define action verbs. What are they? Action verbs express physical or mental actions. All right, examples like running, jumping, thinking. Thinking is mental. Imagining, when you are imagining something, you're also performing an action. You are doing something, right? These verbs add vibrancy and detail to sentences, right? So we're going to look at the types of action verb. For example, we have the physical action and we also have the mental action. We're going to begin with the physical action, something you're doing, something that can be seen. All right, the physical action verbs capture movement and energy. What you're doing physically, people see, people capture, people really know what you're doing. So examples like running, right? When we have the example run, she runs every morning, embracing the sunrise. She runs every morning, embracing the sunrise. Runs here signifies action, the act of running, doing. You're doing something that can be seen, all right? And it's an action. We'll also take the example of jumping, all right? The athlete leaped gracefully over the hurdle. The athlete leaped gracefully over the hurdle, all right? You see, we're talking about what? Action here. Action. Swimming. They swim in the crystal clear pool. They swim in the crystal clear pool. All right? Swimming. All right? Mental action. Something that is just using your brain. All right? It's not physical. The other one is physical. People can see, you can see it. All right, people see you performing the action, but here it's mental. All right, it's mental, it's abstract, nobody can see it, you just do it mentally. All right, good. Mental action verbs delve into thoughts and perceptions. Thoughts and perceptions, what you think, all right, and what you percept. All right, they all have to do with brain, abstractness. All right, so examples: thinking. He reflects deeply before making decisions. He reflects deeply before making decisions. Here means he thought. All right, he thought very deeply. He has to think. All right, think and rethink before what? Making decisions. Believing. She holds strong beliefs in justice. Believing, all right, when you believe something. Believing, nobody can see you believing in something, but rather it's something that you feel. All right, you have it in mind. Okay, I believe I can do this. It's something that reflects mental activity. All right, mental action. Understanding. They comprehend the complexities of the situation. They comprehend the complexities of the situation. All right, they understand the complexity, they understand the difficulties of the situation. Comprehend here reflects what? Understanding. So here you see, understand, no one knows whether you are understanding or not. It's what you think you do. All right, it's what reflects in your brain, your mental action. That's what is referred to as mental action verbs. Imagining. All right, we envision a brighter future. We envision a brighter future. All right, we imagine, we foresee. All right, we are thinking of having a brighter future. So this envision here reflects what? Mental action. Now, how do we identify the action verbs? How do we know the action verbs? All right, action verbs convey what the subject is doing. All right, what the doer of the action is doing. Subject. All right, the performer of the action. Action verbs also, they express dynamic activities performed by the subject. All right, for example, she dances gracefully. She dances gracefully. All right, the act of dancing, moving your body, all right, from one direction to the other in a happy mood. All right, she dances gracefully. See, this is what? Action verb, doing, right? He writes captivating stories. He writes captivating stories. The act of writing, you write something down, all right? Captivating stories. The children play in the park joyfully. The children play in the park joyfully. See, playing here, the act of playing is also action, all right? They're doing what they are doing, you can see, all right? The waves crash against the shore. The waves crash against the shore. All right, so crashing, something to crash. The waves that crash, you can see them crashing, all right, against the shore. Waves of water against the shore. When you go to maybe a sea, all right, you see the waves coming towards the shore, all right, the edge of the river. So when the waves come, they crash against the shore. So that is what this sentence is referring to, crashing, all right, of the waves. Now, let's try to differentiate verb types, like, for instance, distinguishing between action verbs from linking verbs and from auxiliary verbs. What are action verbs? What are linking verbs? And what are auxiliary verbs? For example, action verb. She runs every day. She runs every day. It's an action, all right? That's something that she is doing. She is running, right, towards something, maybe jogging or something. Linking verb now. She is happy. She is happy. Now, look at this. Action reflects the activity done by the subject. Linking here is trying to just link the subject with the object. She is happy. All right? It doesn't show the action. It doesn't reflect the doing of something, all right? But rather it connects the subject and the object or the other. Auxiliary verb, all right? They are running marathons. They are running marathons. Now, you see, here we have are and we have running. So are here is helping, it's adding much more meaning to the verb running, all right, showing that it's an activity happening at the moment of the speaking, all right. They are running marathons at this particular moment. They are running. Good. Auxiliary. The flowers smell delightful. The flowers smell delightful. Now, smell here, all right, links what? Flowers and this delightful. Okay. Auxiliary. She has written a novel. she has written a novel. Also here, see, it's an action done in the past. She has written a novel, right? So here has is helping the verb written to tell you when it really happened. Let's know how to use action verbs effectively now. Enhancing descriptions with action verbs. All right. So now, impact on writing. Impact on writing. Crafting powerful sentence with carefully chosen action verbs. So here you will notice in the examples we're going to have weak verb and we're going to have strong verb. We don't really mean that the verb here in walked is weak. No, we're talking about is less advanced, and then the strong verb will be the more advanced verb. For instance, in this weak verb, she walked to the store. She walked to the store. All right. Strong action verb. She sauntered confidently to the store. She sauntered confidently to the store. Here, the difference between the two is she walked. But how did she walk? How? She sauntered confidently to the store, meaning what? She walked slowly, confidently, as if she owns what? The store or something like that. But she walked slowly. This is what sauntered is referring to. She sauntered confidently to the store. She walked to the store. So you see, that's why I decided to put this as weak verb. Not necessarily it being weak, but rather, less strong verb, less advanced. All right. And this is what the more advanced verb to use. For instance, she sauntered to the store. She sauntered confidently to the store, meaning she walked slowly. Also another weak verb, he talked to the audience. He talked to the audience. How did he talk to them? He addressed them. Strong verb. He addressed the audience. He addressed the audience, meaning what? Talking here, meaning conversation, sort of. But here, addressed the audience. He gave them maybe a speech. He delivered a message. Another weak verb. She ate dinner. Sorry, they ate dinner. They ate dinner. The act of eating. All right, past tense of eat is eat. They ate dinner. So we have another strong verb. They feasted on a delicious dinner. They feasted on a delicious dinner. Delicious dinner. So you see here is a more advanced verb to use than ate. So that's why I categorize them in weak verb and strong verb. Now, action verbs in tenses. All right. Let's see how they shift according to the tense. All right. For example, present tense. They run every day. We had that example earlier. All right. Something happening every day, habitual, something that becomes your habit. You do it every day, every day. She jumped over the puddle. She jumped over the puddle. Meaning what? She jumped, signifying something that has happened in the past. It's a done deal. Future, something that will happen in the future, something that is yet to happen. We will swim tomorrow. All right, signifying that when tomorrow comes, we will swim. It is yet to happen. We also have present progressive, something that is happening right now. She is running a marathon. All right, currently speaking, she is doing what is said, running a marathon. Yes. We also have the past perfect. They had danced for hours. All right, they had danced for hours. It's happened in the past, but it's trying to connect what has happened to maybe something that has that will happen in the future, connecting the past with the present is what they are trying to, the sequence of action. That's what past perfect signifies. All right. For example, you can choose to say they had danced for hours, all right, before going back to their dormitories. They had danced for hours before going back to their dormitories. All right. So you see, showing something that has happened in the past, connecting it with another set of action. Good. Past perfect. Let's move on to the future continuous tense. Something that will happen in the future and will continue happening. All right. He will be swimming at the beach. He will be swimming at the beach. All right. You see, it is yet to happen, but it will be happening and it will continue to happen in the future. He will be swimming at the beach. All right. Future continuous. Now, let's move on to linking verbs. Linking verbs. Linking verbs, they only perform the act of connecting the subject of the sentence to a noun, pronoun, or an adjective that either names or describes it. All right? They only connect subject to pronoun or a noun or an adjective in the what? Object position. That's what they do. They do not show action, but rather state of being or condition. Let's see the examples, then we'll be able to understand more. Now, these are the examples. State of being, all right, showing something about condition, not happening, or state of being. For example, am, is, are, was, were, being, right? Good. She is a doctor. She is a doctor. For example, is here, this is, it links the subject she and the noun doctor. It doesn't say she's doing something, but she is a doctor, signifying what? State of being, her being a doctor. Let's use am, for example. I am a teacher. I am a teacher. All right? Signifying what? State of being. Right? I was her mentor. I was her mentor. All right? You see? Subject, all right? To what? Pronoun or a noun. That's what they do. They do not show action itself, but just connecting. All right? Let's move on. We also have another set of examples, sense related. Sense related. For example, we have feel, look, taste, smell, sound, appear, become. The soup tastes delicious. Now, taste here only links soup with what? Delicious. All right? The soup tastes delicious. It only connects soup with what? Delicious. Delicious here is an adjective. All right? It's an adjective. Adding more meaning what? To the soup. So, the act of connecting. All right? Now, auxiliary verbs. You see, auxiliary verbs, they are also called helping verbs. They work together, they work hand in hand with the main verbs, all right, to perform different tenses, voices, or modes. All right, here you're going to see that we have the same set of examples in what? Linking verbs, in auxiliary verbs, but rather the usage differs. How you use linking verbs differs from what? The way you use them in auxiliary or as auxiliary verbs. For example, you see we have them am, is, are, was, have, has, had, do. All right, we have them here, auxiliary verbs. We have also auxiliary verbs in what? Linking verbs, but the way you use them differs. For example, the present tense, they are eating. All right, they are eating. They are what? Eating. The act of eating, putting food in your mouth, right? So are helps what? To form the present progressive tense with the main verb eating. See, they are eating food, they are eating cakes, all right, something like that. I may choose to use am or was, all right, or were, regardless of how. They were having a nice dinner, all right. They were discussing about their future. They were discussing about their future. Discussing, all right, good. Now, auxiliary verbs also, we have them in a form of setting a question. You can use auxiliary verbs to form questions like do, does, and did. For example, question: did you finish your homework? Did you finish your homework? You see, this did helps to perform the past tense question. All right, the past tense question: did you finish your homework? Something that has happened. All right, so this is all in action verbs. I hope you've learned a lot. So if you have any question, comment, or contribution, do help us and put it in the comment section. And please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much. Goodbye.